what we're gonna need tonight for the last night is pretty much a black ball or two black balls, excuse me, or you could use your bed balls. Okay, and then you'll need one gold ball. Okay, so gold ball and two calf balls, or again, they could be your bed balls if you're interested in doing a little bit more work with the smaller ball. So two of each. We give Jackie just a moment, and then we'll get started. Okay, let me grab mine. Again, you're looking at, there she is. Hi, Jackie. I was just telling them that we are going to be using our either two bed balls or two black balls and a gold ball tonight to finish our last week. Okay. So just a quick few little announcements, and you guys know the drill. I'll mute you out if there's anything you can't see or you want to say anything. You guys know you can unmute yourself and remute and ask any questions you want. So just a few announcements. Be on the lookout for our summer Yamuna programming. Should be coming out here soon. We're gonna kind of cut the schedule down, but then add some different things. We're going down to 1 foot fitness a month, and I'm also going to be offering one called Soul Solutions that will require people to have done at least 2 foot fitness ones, which everybody in here has done. It's here tonight anyways. And I will be using, you will need savers and wakers and black balls in order to do that particular program. So just be on the lookout for that. So we're gonna have 2 different programs now. We'll have Foot Fitness and we'll have Soul Solutions. Soul Solutions is gonna go a little bit more in depth, so people will need their savers. Okay, so just kind of a something to look out for that we'll see how it goes, and it might continue into the fall. We also are going to be doing a couple total YBR kind of, they'll still be workshops, but they'll kind of be back to when I taught classes in the studio and did the full body from head to toe. So there'll be hour-long workshops. We're just going to do 2 of them this summer and see how they go. So just kind of be on the lookout for that. And then we're also going to do, rather than 6-week sessions this summer, we're going to do 2 3-week sessions. So look out for that. We'll do 3 weeks in June, 3 weeks in July, and take off August. You can either do all 3 weeks, or you can even pop in to one of those. They're not gonna, we're gonna do back to some basic stuff. You'll see on the schedule. So if you're interested in any of that, any of them, if you can't attend them, but you want the video version of it, we are gonna start offering, you can pay the same price and you can just get the video and you'll have access to it. Kind of like what we've already been doing, but it'll just be another option. And some of these will also be live in the studio as well. So if you're feeling like you want to come to the studio for these, the foot fitnesses and the workshops will all start to be live in studio and online if you want to stay home. So they'll give you some options for those of you that really enjoy being in your houses. You can just stay at home and do them. But if you want to come back in the studio, we'll be offering those options of double whammy. Sound good? May, yes. In May, we have another foot fitness coming up in May, because we only have another week in May, right? Like, I mean, essentially there's 2 weeks before we start to get in here. So, and then there's also a pelvis one the first week of June, I believe, or the last week in May. Don't quote me on that because I don't remember the dates. So, and there's a pelvis one coming up, a foot fitness one coming up, and there's another foot fitness in June as well, besides May. And then we have the Soul Solutions in August. And then look for the total body ones coming up in June and July and August, and then the 3-week workshops. So tonight's our last week of the 6-week for Power to the Powerhouse. Hopefully we're starting to understand the power of freeing out your pelvis, freeing out your rib cage. That gives you more access and accessibility to your core. So tonight we are going to kind of put a little bow on our 6-week session, and we're gonna be balancing front to back by width and length. And then we're also gonna add twisting stuff tonight as well. So we're putting it all together, you guys. We're putting width, length, rotation, and all the exercises. So the first thing we're gonna do is balance out the pelvis from the back. This would be one that most of you have done in the bed workshops, or if you've done the pelvis workshop, you have seen this in the pelvis. So we're gonna start with our 2 black balls or bed ball. We are going to start on the floor or on your bed. If you are at home and you wanna be in your bed, you can do that as well. And we are going to do the width of the sacrum 3 times, just like that. So oftentimes we take time to do one, and there's value to that. We're just going to, for time's sake, we wanted to give you guys a program tonight that you could do and save some time. That was kind of our thought process, because it does take time to do one side of your sacrum than the other side. So we're gonna kind of put things together. So we're gonna lie down onto our backside. Maybe do a little check-in even before you start putting the balls anywhere. Kind of see what your pelvis and your spine feels like tonight after your day. And then we're gonna lift the hips up and take the balls. They'll be butted up right next to one another, and they're pretty much above the crack, right? So rather than dotting your eye with 1 dot, we got 2. Now we're just gonna hold it here. Prefer that, and you could open up the knees, right? That would be an option. But I would prefer that we did this with the knees, bent in parallel, and then we're just gonna move them out. That would be my preference for this one. This is how we would do it if we did one at a time. Now we're gonna take the hands underneath and imagine that you're tractioning and pulling the balls apart, so that you're asking that sacrum to get some width underneath there. And just breathe in and just breathe out. Good. Now see if you can move the balls a little bit wider. You're just moving them out, and you're just tractioning a little bit. I'm holding on to the balls with my thumb and my pointer finger, and I'm just pulling a little bit. Breathing in, breathing out. Again, if you want to explore, if this feels good for you, you could do that. I just don't want you to arc or send your belly up to the sky like a loaf of bread poofing up out of the oven, right? I want you to try to keep that in. So for me, I do a little bit better keeping that posterior tilt if I have my knees to the sky. Up to you though. Now remove it one more time. Soften everything down. Once you soften into the balls, you're pulling them apart. Breathe in. Breathe out. Time to slow things down. Trying to focus on relaxing and letting go. Tapping into that parasympathetic system. Really finding the bones, working through those bones and releasing muscles, ligaments, and tendons. Now, bring it back into the middle, but come a little higher. So I'm just a titch higher, just a little micro shift higher. Gently tractioning the balls apart. We're letting more quicksand sink through the belly button. Again, you can keep your knees to the sky, or if you want to explore it open, that's fine, but we're looking for not the anterior tilt of the pelvis, but really a neutral or a slight pelvic tilt to the posterior side. So you can kind of see what that gives you. So that's why, again, typically for most of us, knees to ceiling keeps us in that little tilt. Now move them apart a little bit further. So now we're really into that SI joint. And this is a great one for SI. We're just balancing out the sacrum to pelvis, and we're trying to create some more space in the pelvis where those bones, right, where the sacrum goes behind the pelvis. Now you've got one more. Can you pull it out a little bit further? And you're feeling the back side. Really kind of the sensation I feel is, well, one word of piriformis would be, but kind of that outside bowl. It's like you're pushing the bowl of each pelvis, each of the pelvic bowls out. Pushing that out. Breathing in, breathing out. Good, now bring the balls together and bring them at the pant line, really coming up more in line with what is called your PSIS. So you have your ASIS, which are your hip bones on the front, and then your PSIS is on the back. So if we were wearing low riding pants, that's where the balls would be, maybe low to mid. Breathing in, breathing out. So again, preferably feet on the ground, knees up, so that you can think about the weight of your pelvis tilting back towards your belly button just a bit. And then you're tractioning the balls out. Move them a little bit wider. Working through that upper SI area. Widening, breathing in, breathing out. Trying to keep the pelvis from going into that anterior tilt. Think about taking your bowl of soup and dumping it just a little bit without gripping. No need to clench anything. Okay, now take it a little bit further. So, and at this point, the butt cheek, right, your tissue might actually touch the floor as you're out more on this outer, if we had a belt loop on that outside here, and you're pulling, just tractioning, I'm pulling the balls apart. Okay, take them out, draw that down, see what that brings to the back line of your pelvis. For me, it brings like kind of icy hot heat back there. And now it's much easier to see that my sacrum and my lumbar is more flush to the ground. So that was widening the pelvis. Now we're going to go width and length to the front side. So now we're going to stack our balls up and down. So if I were to start, like there's my belly button, and I'm on the shelf of my pubic bone, and in between my navel, we're going to go to the right of it, and then we're going to go a little bit more to the right, and then we'll do one other little teeny roll. Then we're going to go back and back. Then we'll find our middle line and go 1, 2, 3, back, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so let's go ahead and start on our belly. I like to find the bony landmarks where I'm in the middle, and I'm going to try to bring my feet in and my legs in about hip bone distance apart in that parallel. Try not to let your toes, come in or out. Try to see if you can just bring them straight on. Now, once you sink down into the middle, we're going to move our body, shimmy your body left, and move the balls stacked up on top of one another just a little bit to the right. So they're in between the right side, the right corner of your belly button, and they're pushing into the shelf of the right side of your pubic bone. Now, if you can reach your right arm up, reach your right arm up. I'm going to use my left hand a little bit on that left side to make sure I'm not dumping down, right? We want to make sure that we are keeping our pelvis steady or parallel to the floor, right? So that if we had like a scale sensation, we don't want a lot of flour on the left dumping it down. We want to keep it even. See if you can sink. This is stimulating internal organs as well. Keep reaching We're getting length here as much as we are width. So even though we're pulling across the rectus abdominis, the transverse abdominis, and some of the insertion and origin parts of the internal and external obliques, everything's about widening and lengthening on this one. Sink down into it, move the balls a micro shift to the right. So now I can feel that I'm just a little bit to the inside edge of my hip bone and my underwear line on that right side. Breathe in, breathe out. Again, these patterns that Vicki and I wanted to bring this week are kind of like your patterns for, big gains with easy movement. So big buck patterns, ones that are easy to do and gets us a nice simple program where the rest of the 5 weeks have been more in depth. Now move it just a little titch more so that you're on that hip bone and on that underwear line, right? So I can feel like where my leg bone, the pelvis to that hip bone. And this one is so great for those of us that are short-waisted, right? You want to think, can you pull your ribs as far away from your hip bones and the balls? And this would be a great time to think about lateral diaphragmic breath work, like you're breathing into the ball. But what we call directional breathing in the Yamuna breathing work. Now sink down into it and can we travel back the way we came? So I'm moving the balls back to midline, towards the midline. I've got one more to go. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Moving it back. I'm just on top of the inside edge of the midline of the pubic bone on the top of the shelf and right below the belly button on the right corner edge of the navel. Okay, now move it, sink into it, move it to the middle. Breathe 3 times in the middle, and then we're going to do that shifting 3 times to the left. Now we're going to take the left arm up. We're going to sink down, move your body to the right, the balls to the left. You can use your right hand to keep the hip square or just be aware that you're not dropping the right hip down. Keep that even. Same arm from the side that your balls are on is reaching up over your head. At least 3 breaths, maybe 5 here. Sink down into it when you move. So you're not lifting up to move. We're trying to wrap down. Move the balls a micro shift over. You're at that underwear line, following that diagonal line across the inner thigh edge. Again, a great place to check and make sure that we're not in that anterior tilt. We're just in neutral or possibly tilting into that posterior tilt. Sink down. Now, can you go one more roll? Put your body weight into the balls. As you move, the balls now are on the left hip bone and that inside edge of the upper underwear line, where you can almost feel your leg bone. Breathe in, breathe out. Now sink down into it, moving it back towards the midline. Keep inching your left fingers forward. Sink down and move it more towards the middle. You're in that medial edge on the left side. We've just got one more to be the middle line, right? So I'm on that inside left corner of the navel and the inside corner of that left side of your pubic bone. Now sink it and move it right to the middle. So you're in the middle of the shelf and underneath your navel. In the middle, breathe in. Breathe out. It might be good to go ahead and stretch out the arms and let your nose and forehead drop down. Almost looking like someone is patting you down. You just got pulled over. And then take it off. Flip onto your back. Always good after a pattern to flip onto our back line and just let the body take it in. So now the pelvis should feel balanced width and length from front to back. Now we're gonna, again, remember the whole concept is to try to get space and free pelvis and free ribs. So, but we're also gonna do a little bit of work for our abdominals. We're gonna do some strength work as well, right? And it's not just about length and width without the strength. So we're gonna do some strength component as well. We're gonna go ahead and bring ourselves upright. And you're gonna grab your gold ball. So we're gonna start to add some strength component, and we're gonna add some twisting as well. All right, so if you think on this one, we're gonna be thinking of, for those that have done Pilates, we're gonna be thinking of maybe like knee sways and lower spine twists, right? In combination, we'll do some upper rib cage crisscross patterns as well. You're gonna do some chest lifting. So we're bringing a lot of our Pilates concepts, our core strengthening concepts into this one as well, which gets us into better roll downs, roll ups, rollovers, rolling like a ball's spine stretch forward. Okay, that's what all of this work is gonna be. So first we're gonna just start with the ball. Make sure you have room in front of you. So double check your space because we are gonna be rolling forward. So make sure you're far enough back in your room and your space that you have room to go forward. Now you're gonna try to do your best to get that right down at the bottom of your sacrum. So rather than starting up underneath our tail and then tipping, I want you just to go ahead and start right at that sacrum. Use your hands to push that ball up into your sacrum and bend your knees. You can have them wide or you can have them narrow, but eventually I'm gonna ask you to try to bring them in closer together. Okay, if you need to start a little bit wider, that's fine. All right, so the first one, we're just gonna take a nice big breath in and lift our chest, and then we're gonna exhale. Think about letting the belly button sink towards your spine and let the bones of your low back flip into the ball, and then lift straight up. So this is what we call connecting belly to spine, spine to ball. Okay, take a big breath in, exhale, melt belly to spine, spine to ball, lift up. So it's very different than a chest lift. You're just trying to find the connection of the bones of your sacrum into your ball. Okay. Now, once we find that, see if you can sink, hold that there. We're just kind of holding on. If it doesn't feel right to hold on to your ball, you can have your arms wider, or you could go here. But this first one, usually I like to hold on to my ball or take my hands wide. Now, we're going to start to extend our ribs away. So I'm not leaving that sacrum from the ball. The sacrum should remain on your ball. You're gonna reach back a little bit, and then I want you to give me a little chest lift. And then back. And you should get some nice deep quivering in there. Chest lift. So we're just asking the tail of our sternum to go back and stretch out the back line and get deeper into your powerhouse. Good. And then hold. Now walk your feet in, bring them together, and see if you can take the legs to the right without losing contact of the ball, right? So you're not just dropping it and losing that contact. And if you need a bigger, wider base with your arms, take your arms wider, which might be smarter on this one because the legs are narrow, and keep pressing your sacrum into the ball as you tip them to the right. Now hold that. So we don't want to let the left side of your sacrum come off that ball. Now breathe in, breathe out, and let that belly button soften deeper. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Bring the knees to the midline, keep your sacrum on the ball, and shift the legs to the left. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. One more, inhale, exhale. Bring the knees back to the midline, sink deeper into your ball, and start to drive your butt bones towards your feet, a micro shift. Okay, so just a little bit higher. Okay, now take the hands right behind your knees. Walk your feet a little bit apart now. Come off your ball just a little bit. Now exhale, sink belly button to spine, spine to ball, lift straight up. Belly button to spine, spine to ball, straight up. Belly button to spine, spine to ball, straight up. Now soften belly to spine. Now hold it there. So now because the ball's so big, you can feel sacrum and lumbar. Now keep that lumbar into the ball. You've got the option of holding on and using your hands to assist you with the flexion of your thoracic. If you feel like you want a lot of work, interlace your fingers, make a basket for your head, find your elbows at a diagonal, take a big breath in, sink deeper into your ball, then exhale, scoop the tail back. And then inhale, extend the space. Now exhale, curl. Females, we're curling in our bra. Men, deep at the tail of your sternum. And then extend it. And we do not lose the connection. If you're doing this, it should be horribly awesome. One more. Everything is quivering. Center, 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 center. Now hold it. Now take your right hand, take your hands behind your right knee and walk your left leg in. Now take a big breath and pull your leg up so that you're bringing that knee towards your chest. Now push your back into the ball more. Now curl your chest towards your knee towards your chest, but don't lose the pressure of your spine on the ball. And then tap it down. Do that again. Curl, send your low back into the ball, your belly button deeper, and bring your chest and your thigh towards one another. And back. So if we're talking Pilates, this is our rolling like a ball concept. This is our flexion. Flex, flex, flex. Right, our open leg rocker, our seals, and relax. Let's do 3 on the left. Take a big breath. Curl, you're gonna connect with the left side of the obliques, deep transverse abdominis, deep pelvic floor, and then of course you're flexing, which when we flex shortens that rectus, but lengthens back here, but keep pushing back into it, right? So for those of us that have that deep anterior tilt and that lumbar to our shoulder tips are oftentimes really compressed and our balls end up flopping, this is gonna help us create that space right there. Curl, curl, flex it, but keep pushing your back into the ball. And then take it down. Good, now walk your feet together. Take your arms back and out. Now sink deeper, see if you can deepen that. Pull your belly button in and let your knees fall to the right without losing the connection of your low back on the ball. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. So again, you said, oh, we're just gonna do the back of the spine. Yeah, we're adding some good work here. Breathe in. If this isn't challenging, you're not doing this right. Bring it center. Take it to the left. Keep pushing the belly button to spine, the spine to the ball. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more time. Inhale. Exhale. Bring it back to center. Walk the feet a little bit apart. Take a big breath. Drive your butt towards your feet. And now you're in between the rib, not quite in your shoulder tip. I'm almost at my shoulder tips, not quite. Okay. Now, so you can take the hands behind your thigh bones. Take a big breath in. Now remember, this first one is just connecting belly and front rib to back to ball. Lift up, right? You're just going soften the front to the spine, more of the bones of your spine on the ball, lift off. Lower. Now see if you can hold it. Now you're going to try to keep that space on your high rising pants. And then you're going to exhale, soften your belly button deeper, deepen the C curve, and back without your head poking forward or your shoulders coming up, right? And then extend it without wrapping your head back. I'm just reaching the ribs away. Then we're flexing. And then we're taking it back. And we're flexing, right? Things should be quivering. Flexing. I don't know if you can see that, but mine's totally quivering. And hold. Now take the hands behind the head. We're going to add thoracic rotation. Good for our golf game and gardening. Take a big breath in. Exhale, curl. Now twist your right rib towards your left, but don't lose that mid back on your ball. Now bring it center. Now slowly twist to your left. It's your crisscross. Bring it center, sink down into your ball. Everything's still active. Yes, this is horrible. Curl, and I'm going slow so you get a chance to really work this. Now go right to left. Now go left to right. Your elbows do nothing. Your hands are interlaced to cup your skull. Take it back, right? It's like a basket, so there's no work for your neck. Curl up. Twist, push your head back into your palms. Rotate your rib cage right to left. Rotate it left to right. You should be coming exhausted, but we got a little bit more left. Bring it center. Take the hands underneath. Walk your feet closer. Now take a big breath and bring your right knee towards your chest. Push that low back in the ball and pull your thigh to your chest to your thigh, and your low back on the ball. And tap it down. Right? Curl. So we're just bringing in that femur arc and that toe tap concept with the flexion of our upper body, right? Curl so that we're really mimicking rolling like a ball and back down. Now try the other side. Grab on, exhale, push. It's like I'm almost pushing the front of my bra to the back, and then I'm curling chest and thigh together and then back. Yeah, good. Let's do it again. Curl. We're creating space in that lumbar to that low thoracic, right? And then we're flexing and extending the top of our thoracic. Curl, 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 curl. And then back. Now walk the feet together. Take the arms behind you. Take a big breath and start to tip your pelvis and your knees to the right, okay? Because we're higher, this is where you can actually see if you can tilt the pelvis more, but I want more of the spine on the ball. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. Now bring the legs up from your tummy, from your core, from those obliques. Now tilt it to the left, but put more weight in that ball. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. Melt down there. One more. Breathe in. Breathe out. Bring it back to center. Sink. Move the ball a little higher. So now I can start to feel that I'm like right underneath my shoulder tips, right? Those little upside down sailboat. You can feel the tip underneath there. Now, see if you can take the legs a little wider. We're doing all the same thing at each point here. Take a big breath, connect. And if you need to support your head, you can support your head. If it feels good to go behind. But I'm trying to push more of that thoracic spine onto the ball. And then I come up off the ball. And we push into the ball. We melt. Think of your body like chocolate in the sun or butter in the sun. Melt it around. Yes. Hold that there. Breathe in. As you breathe out, curl chest towards your thighs. Send more of the low back towards the floor and ball. And then stretch it out and flex it. Stretch it out. Flex it. Adding rotation now. Reach it back. Let your head relax in your palms. Elbows at a diagonal, curl up. Right? I'm almost with my hands interlaced. It's like you're pulling your skull off your spine to even get some elongation of your cervical. Then we twist to the right. How far can you twist without losing the spine? See if you can go further. Go further. Go further. Bring it center. Now twist. Twist. This gives you an opportunity to see what kind of rotation you're starting to get. And then back. And then relax. Lengthen. We're not dropping the head to floor. Take a big breath. Send the front rib and bra line to the back of the ball. Now rotate your ribs to the right. Now bring it center. Rotate it to the left. Bring it center, sink down. You have one more here. Take a big breath in. Connect your back bones to the ball. Now twist them to the right. Twist them, twist them, twist them. And then twist them to the left. I reversed that cueing, sorry. Bring it center and draw it down. Now walk the legs in. Take the arms from behind the skull. Grab onto your right thigh bone behind it. And then exhale, pull your knee to chest, your chest to knee, and push your bra line back in the ball. And then down you go. Take a big breath. Exhale, curl, pushing your body weight into the ball. And then back. You're stretching it. You're feeling like silly putty. You're pulling, pulling, pulling. And back. Try the other side. Grab on. And pull, 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 and down, and grab on, and pull, 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 and down. One more time. Exhale, send the ribs and the bra line and sternum back. Bring your thigh to your chest, and back. Take your arms out wide. Bring your feet together. See if you can shift your knees and your pelvis towards the right, but keep that left shoulder blade and the spine on the ball. Take a big breath in. Take a big breath out. If this bothers the neck, then just take that left hand behind your head and just use your right hand. Good. Now pull back up the midline. Take it to the left. Again, if you can't get out of your neck, then use your right hand to counterbalance. And take your knees to the left. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. Bring it back to the midline, and you lift your hips up. Move the ball into the shoulder blades. Find each blade and see if you can ask each blade to move out and widen them. Good. Now, grab the hands behind the head. Take a big breath in. As you exhale, melt down into the ball. Feel the bones of your mid-back and your thoracic. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, press down into it. Inhale. Exhale, press down. We're doing the exact same combo all the way up to our skull. Good. Now, hold the contact of the spine on the ball. Now reach your ribs away, right? It looks like the head's going back because I'm pulling. We're sending the butt bones to our feet and the rib cage away from your ASIS and your PSIS. Now, as you exhale, float your chest to your thighs. Now, inhale, stretch it out. Exhale. So I'm not trying to wrap so far back around the ball right now. I'm just trying to think length. And you might get really far back. I don't know, it depends on your extension here. And then curl. Okay, now we're adding a rotation. Inhale. Exhale, curl and twist the right to the left, but feel that left shoulder blade and spine on the ball. Then bring it back and twist your left to right. Right, so the ball's really not moving. Keep that right in the middle of your spine. You're just twisting at your rib cage. Reach it back. You have 2 more. And we curl, and we're gonna rotate our chest to the left. Bring it center, head relaxed in your palms. Switch. Bring it center, reach it back and around your ball. Last one, curl up, go right to left. Push that ball into your spine and take it left to right. Bring it center, hold it. Now can you walk your feet in? Can you take your hands behind your right knee? Push more of that back into the ball, and you're gonna think thigh to your chest, the upper collarbone to thigh. Release a little bit because we're so high. Curl, drop your shoulder blades. Try not to think about your face to your knee. Think about your chest instead. Curl so we're not sticking on our dresser drawer. And then back down. Let's try the other side. Bring that knee towards your chest. Push more of the back of your shoulder blades on the ball. Release. And pull, right? So you got pull, push, right? Push the ribs back, pull chest and thigh together. One more. Pull chest and thigh together. Think about the back line of your shoulder blades and the ball, and relax. Take the arms out to your side, walk your feet together, tilt them over to the right, push more into the ball. Right hand can support your head, or you could stay curled up with both arms out. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Bring the knees, shift them up through the pelvis. Take the pelvis and the knees to the left. Keep in contact of your ball. You're gonna feel more and more of the right side stretching when the knees are left. When the knees were to the right, you felt that left side stretching. Bring it center. Open your legs. Lift your hips. See if you can find a full bridge. Can you send your knees over your feet, your bottom up without gripping, right? Just send pelvis to the sky. And then we shift the ball to the upper shoulders. Now we roll ourselves back down. Good. Taking the hands behind your skull, not your neck, but find the ridge of your skull with your thumbs. Interlace your fingers. Reach your rib cage back. We're almost there. Now exhale. Curl, sending more of the bones of your spine flush on the floor and into the ball. Then inhale, stretch. Exhale. Inhale, stretch. Exhale. Then we're going to do a little rotation because we're so high. Curl, rotate, it's small. Bring it center, rotate. Right? Because I want you to stay connecting to the ball. So it's a small rotation there. Reach it back. Curl, twist. Right to left. Left to right. Center, sink down. Curl. Right to left. Left to right. Center and down. Good. Now see if you can walk your feet in. Take the right knee. Bring it toward your chest. More of the back is going to go on the ball. It might even feel like the ball's going to pop out, but you're pushing into it, that you're trying to bring your chest and your thigh together. And release. and pull. It's gonna feel like it's gonna pop out, but you've got that much weight in the back of your shoulders. Yes. Good, one more, and then find the other side. Take the left knee, grab onto it. Pull that knee to chest, pull your chest towards your knee, and then release. Pull, knee to chest, chest to knee. One more. Pull and hold. Grab behind the head, take your right arm out to the side, walk your feet together, take the knees to the right. Keep feeling your shoulder blades in the ball, and you might even be able to start lifting that left butt cheek, right? You might even feel the left ribs come off the mat, but we do not let that left shoulder come off your ball. So you're giving a deeper spine twist, right? Can you give me that deeper spine twist? Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in. I'm going to ask my knees to go a little further. My knees to go a little further. They might even almost touch the ground. Oh, it's amazing, isn't it? And then bring it back. Okay, now let's try the other side. So I'm going to have my right hand behind my head. Left arm is going to be out. Push into the ball. Then we're going to tip. We're going to sway, sway, sway. Keep pushing into the ball. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. How far can you let it go without losing the ball behind your shoulder blades? Bring it back to that center line. Now lift your hips up. We're not in the neck, we're not even in the neck yet. We're still at that top part of your thoracic coming to your cervical. Get your hips up high without gripping your booty. Just think, oh, pelvis, pubic bone up, knees away. Now glide it into your neck. Now roll. Keep your hips up for a second. Roll your shoulder blades, the top of them. Now roll down with your hips up through the back line. See how much length you've given to your spine. Oh, feels good. If you need to readjust your outfit, readjust it, right? And then take the hands down towards the feet. And then look to the right. Look to the left. Bring it center. Nod your nose down. Take your hands like you're going to go do a push up into a full wheel, and you're going to bring them right on the side of the ball. Now, when you have them at the side of the ball, you might have to move it around a little bit here. You're going to push the ball up the cervical underneath your skull. So just push it till it's underneath your skull. And then once you get to that occipital ridge, where the C1 meets that ridge of your skull, push the ball or lift it till it's on your skull. And your chin is down to your chest and you feel that elongation. And then roll it even higher on the back of the skull more. And then take the ball out and lie all the way down, straighten out your legs. Breathe a few times. So again, core strengthening as we widen the bones of our spine, lengthen the bones of our spine, and twist. Put it all together. Okay, guys, now we're going to go to the front. Bring the knees in, tip it over. So we're going to take our gold ball and we're going to bring it right into our belly. So we're going to take that right into the center line of our pubic bone. So find your pubic bone. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in just a bit, breathe out. Now, so now we're on the pubic bone. Can you slide it down enough that you have it just on the shelf and bring your knees in? Can you even have them touching? Now, draw yourself down. Wrap it around without gripping, right? Just ungrip your cheeks. We need to do a little wiggle, 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 wiggle. Breathe in, breathe out. Now see if you can bend at your knees without lifting your bottom, right? It's almost like I'm trying to get my pubic bone to the floor here. I'm trying to round my pubic bone. So you only bring your knees whatever your knees give you for the flexion of your knees, right? That you can keep melting around the ball. Okay? Some of you might have your heels closer to your butt, some of them might be further away. Now we're gonna do a little strengthening here. As you sink around your ball, you're gonna pull your belly button up. Think about a belt or corset around your waist. Float your knees up, back down. Now maybe your knees didn't come up. That's okay. Right? I don't want to push my butt to the sky. I want to try to wrap it around. And rather than gripping my butt cheeks, I'm gonna push and widen the butt bones, lift and lower. Yep, it's awful. Lift and lower. One more time. Lift and lower. Good. And take the legs long. Nice. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Come up onto your forearms. Pull your rib cage up so that you keep that length that we just built in our spine, right? When we're here, we don't want to be, again, dropping our ribs. We want to pull them up. So we're pushing the floor away, pulling the rib and belly button up, and pushing the pubic bone down. It's good that you get those cues, right? So if I go chest, ribs, navel up, pubic bone, wrap around. Now, see if you can sink, move the ball a teeny micro shift higher. And then move the ball to the right side of your pelvis. Breathe in, breathe out. Now we're going to take our right forearm on the floor, left one's going to come out like a push-up, sink into it, and you're going to scoop it into the side, and then thoracic rotate. So you're going to ask that chest, right rib to the left. Your eye gaze goes with you. Breathing in, breathing out. Sink down into it, bring it back. Come to the middle, shift to the left, sink into that left side, breathe in. Again, rib, bottom rib, belly button up, wrap your pubic bone around the ball, left arm on the floor, right one comes up. We twist and scoop like a nice ice cream scoop going to the bottom of your Ben & Jerry's. Scoop it out there. I see a chocolate chip at the bottom. And then bring it back. Breathe, now bring it center. Now, I'm gonna add an ab strengthener that's very challenging. If you're already like, I'm dying, I'm done with this, maybe you just stay here. Okay, if you want to add a little bit more, you're going to take your right leg, bring it towards your bottom. And if you don't have the flexibility for this in your knee and hip and your arms and shoulders, then again, you just stay here, go no further. Otherwise, see if you can bring one foot. Try grabbing on. If you have that kind of flexibility, pull into it. My other arm is on the floor, and I'm going to start to lift. Now, you could take that arm forward and lift up. Right? And then back and down. Now we try the other side. Foot to the butt. Maybe you stay here. Maybe you start to lift up a little bit or shift the arm out and pull up. Now, if we were super strong and super flexible, you would attempt both hands. I don't have that in my practice. Yamuna does it beautifully. You could go there. One day I'll do that. I did it with her help, but not by myself. So now I want to go into one more strengthening one. Your feet are about hip distance. So bring about hip distance. Reach out on your fingertips and then wrap your chest down. So it looks like you're gonna ride a Harley with the big old monkey bars. Now, pubic bone is trying to wrap on the other side of the ball. Take a big breath in, push your toenails down, lift your chest up. Walk it back down. Lift it up. Walk it back down. One more. I know this is all challenging stuff. Told you we're getting to the strength component. And down. Okay, last one here. Take the arms by your sides. Can you go palms to the floor? Take a couple deep breaths. This might be where you stay. We'll see if I have enough strength today to do this one. And if you want to see this done really beautifully, Yamuna does this gorgeous in her Save the Center. Palms to the floor, nose to the floor. We'll see what I got today. Take a big breath, push your butt bones to your heels. I don't have it today. And lift. I thought maybe I'd find it. Lift. She does it so pretty. Lift. And down. Okay, guys, I didn't have it. Maybe you had it. And then come on. I was hoping maybe that I could will myself into that one. I haven't gotten it yet. All right, so go ahead and flip onto your back. Goals. We all have to have them, right? See how you feel. Take the legs. We got one more exercise we're going to do. So at this 6 weeks, you guys, we're adding that strength component, like finding the length, but then actually seeing if we can find that abdominal wall a little bit better, that pelvic floor, those lower back muscles, right? Our multifidus and erector spinae, all those small muscles off our back. Okay, so we're going to end in a standing today. We're going to go ahead and come up, kind of like we did last week, but I'm going to add to this as well. So we did do the deep center line last week. I did have time last week. So find yourself, I'll try to give a little bit of space so you might be able to see me. And we are going to do our deep center line, center twist, twist. So plop it right on up and in. This was always a good one to end or start with. It's just a great exercise. Now remember, as we're here, we're trying not to grip it. We don't want the knees and the ankles to collapse. You want to think, can you take your femurs wide? Because we've done all this beautiful width and this length. So you're going to widen them out, right? Feel the outside edge of your heels when you start to connect everything to your standing position. Now, in that standing position, you're going to take a big breath. You're going to nod your nose. You're going to curl. And we're going to come down into our Pilates. So once we do our Pilates elephant, then we're going to go into more yoga. Okay? So you're in this elephant. You're just hanging. You're in your elephant, kind of letting everything go here. And then once you get in your elephant trunk, can you start to bring it down more into a forward fold position? All right, so now we're just hanging. Maybe you need your hands and forearms here, right? Maybe your knees are really bent. Some of us can go a little straighter, but we're trying to flip our butt bones apart into the sky. And we're going to just hold down here. Now, if you're someone that doesn't do well with an inversion, you can always come up in between. I'm going to hold the inversion the entire time on this one. All right, so if you need to come up anytime, you can come up anytime. If you need to support your forehead, support your forehead. Now, we are going to do some twisting here. Whether you're supporting your head or on your forearms or dangling and touching the floor, you're going to walk your upper body to the right. And as I twist to the right, it's almost like I'm having to push my left butt cheek back to keep my pelvis square. Again, you might be dangling. Maybe you just took your shelf to the right. Breathe in, breathe out. Now bring it center. And bring your upper body to the left. And I'm pushing my right butt cheek back now. Now bring it center. Release the ball and move it to the middle of your thigh and reset your dangling. Your knees can be bent with the forearms on them. Shelf, or maybe you're touching the floor. Either way, more and more of the butt bones going to the sky, right? If we were in the studio, I would do some assists of trying to pull that sensation of widening your butt bones. You can even do it to yourself if you'd like. I'm touching my butt bones, pulling them apart, and trying to flip them to the ceiling. Now I would shift to the right. In my mind's eye, I'm thinking push my left cheek back. Shift over to the left and push my right cheek back. Of course, this is wonderful for those of us that have allergies right now. Bring it to the center. Move the ball just above the knees. I'm not at the kneecap, but just above them. Find your center. Let it dangle in any way you want. Maybe you even take your hands on your butt bones and manually pull them apart and ask them to lift to the ceiling. And then we start to see what rotation we can get in our upper body to the right. Again, however you want. For those of you that can't touch the floor, maybe you're continuing to pull with your hands as you push your left butt bone back. And then we take it to the left. Sometimes this is a nice one where I'll do it where I can hold on to something and then I can really pull. Bring it center. Take it just below the knees, walk your feet in. Yeah, bend them as much as you need to. You're just chilling. Whether you need to come up onto your forearms on the thighs, whether the shelf or the hands down, you choose. Maybe you manually grab your butt bones, pull them apart and lift them if you've got that kind of flexibility and mobility. Then we turn to the right. Then we turn to the left. Bring it center. Take it to the mid belly of your calves. Again, reset, rebend if you need to. Check it out. Maybe you sit here. Some of you might be touching the floor. Some of us are touching our butt bones, pulling them apart, and trying to encourage the flipping mechanically of your pelvis on top of your femurs. And then we're going to ask our bodies to rotate to the right. And as we're rotating right, we're saying left butt bone, push back a little bit. And then we're going to tip over to the left and ask our left butt bone to push back just a titch. Bring it back to center. And the last one is at the ankle, like right above the ankle bones. Maybe you're walking the feet a little bit. Maybe check out your feet. When I'm here, if you have the flexibility for it, you can bend your knees. Sometimes I'll take my fingers and find my pinky toes, spread them all out so I can feel that beautiful arch. Take my hands on the inside of that arch and feel like I'm pulling up, pushing some weight out to that fifth metatarsal. Right? Sometimes it's nice to just use your own body, your own hands to tactilely touch and tell it what you want out of it. Maybe you're pulling your butt bones apart and out. And then we take the body to the right. We're pushing the left cheek back. Take it to the left and push your left cheek back. Bring it to the center. Draw your forearms and your elbows on your knees. Now start to hang higher into your elephant, soften your knees. Pull the belly button in. Pull your front rib cage back. Head is down, shoulders pull away from your ears. Stack your spine up, all the way up to the top. Stand for a second and ask your arms to flip anatomically to palms facing out. Breathe in. Breathe out, ground your feet. Breathe in, feel your whole body from feet to head, right? Can you feel that your feet are like roots to a plant that's growing in our gardens? And then we're starting to sprout up above the dirt through the crown of our head. Shoulders are back where they need to be. And you feel super connected to the center of your body. And then take a big breath, bring your arms up. Give yourself a huge hug from me to all of you for being here with me for 6 weeks. And just be on the lookout, you guys, for all of our summer activities. If you have any questions or suggestions or anything at all, feel free. Hopefully this kind of helps put some things together by the end here, and that you found some more strength exercises as well. Some goals that we can all maybe look forward to. Get some extra water tonight, you guys, and we'll see you all soon.
Thanks so much.
Thanks,
Thank you.